Hashtag Marc Stewart Media is hashtag the Scottish medium. Hashtag Marc Stewart Medium is hashtag the Scottish medium. So, hello. Anybody that's a regular knows that I love playing around with software. So as you can see, there's been a bit of an upgrade. We're basically using a new software package called OBS Studio, which feeds nicely into StreamYard, which is what we're using. So just run through a few bits and pieces. If you've been following us, then you probably know that we set up a group on Facebook about 2.5 weeks ago. Said group has now crossed over or grown to 500 members. So that's in 2.5 weeks. That's pretty much about 250 people a week, just under 250 people a week since we started the group. It's fairly active, could do with being a lot more active. How we work, we are emphasizing doing video readings. So if you look at the text description for wherever it is that you're watching, you should see a link in there for StreamYard. Copy that link, put it into either Chrome or Firefox. It will only work with Chrome or Firefox. That will basically bring you into the studio software platform that we're using called StreamYard. You'll have to sit there until Ying allocates you a reading. If you don't want to use video, if you want to use the old-fashioned text reading, that's fine, still doing that. However, if you're a regular or if you're not a regular, there can be anything from a 10 to 45 second delay. Some weeks it's quite good, it's 10 seconds. Other weeks it can get up to 40, 45 seconds. You'll have noticed that I'm not doing the video introduction, trying to give more time for what's important for the readings. Before we go on, basically, in case you don't know it, we choose who gets a reading randomly. Just showing you a quick video of my beloved wife who's chairing us. You'll see her talking in the chat. Your name goes into a box and it gets drawn out of the box. Now, the videos do get priority. If we have more than one video, we use the same technique. We had 4 people sitting to get a video last week, so they were chosen randomly. But basically, the earlier you put your name forward for a message, and you do need to ask for a message, the greater the chance you've got of getting chosen. So if you put your name forward in the last 10 minutes, then you've maybe only got 1 chance of getting chosen. If you put your name forward now, you've got anything between 1 in 15 chances of being chosen. We'll try and get through as many people as we can. How many people I get through does depend on a lot of things, like the messages that come forward. I'm not doing private messages. The messages are kept very short. You'll get 2 or 3 lines of evidence. As soon as you can accept who the person is, I'm not going to keep digging to give you more evidence. I'll get on to give you the message. That way I can give more messages. Finally, just want to say next week I am appearing with a business in Italy who are doing what's called a Love Summit. Now, if you look at that link there, if you want to go, it's over 4 days. I'm only appearing on the 28th, on the Friday. I'm doing, excuse me for 1 second, while we try and get rid, we're being hacked again.
I cannot block him.
Excuse me, we've got somebody who's, I think, learned to hack us. So Patrick Williams, please take that down and go away, or I will turn very nasty. Thank you. So as I was saying, if you want to go to the event, it's done online. I'm doing a talk in the morning about how love is important in spiritualism, and then I'm giving readings in the afternoon using a Zoom event. Let me just take that down. Okay, so let's get into the next section. So if everyone would please join me for love. Sorry. That guy's put me off a wee bit. If everybody would like to join me for a prayer. So, eyes closed, head bowed, please join me now. Dear Father, Mother Spirit, thank you very much for coming for opening the door to the other side. Thank you for helping us to work together. Thank you for helping us to know how to love one another. Please stop these pirators in any way. Please let somebody pick up the phone when I phone the support company tonight and see how we deal with it. Other than that, thank you. Please open the door and send our loved ones forward now. Amen. Okay, just a very quick spiritual talk before we get going. Today is a very interesting date. It's the 21st of February in the year 21. Nice rhythm, 21221. Now, that's quite an interesting date. I'm not an astrologist in any way, but I was born in the month of June on the 11th, so 2 times 1. You see the number 2 coming forward again. And that makes me a Gemini, which is a twin, which is even more interesting because my mother herself is a twin. And unfortunately, the reason I'm talking about my mother is because I always forget her birthday. And that also, of course, means that I forget my Auntie Catherine's birthday as well. And thankfully, as well as chairing, Young's got a fantastic memory, and she always gets me out of trouble by reminding me and dealing with the presents. Otherwise, I'd be disowned by both my mother and my aunt. Motherly love is extremely important, obviously. And as a medium, the reason I'm talking about this, it's something that we get exposed to probably every time we do an event like this. Somebody's mother or father comes forward. I usually don't say your mother loves you. I usually take it on faith that the person I'm giving the message to knows that their mother loves them, unless there's a very specific reason for it. If there's a very specific reason why that person needs to express love, then in that case, I will do so. I'd just like you all to think basically about your mother and your father, just so that she doesn't get left out. Ying's mother is a wonderful woman as well. Don't see her very often because she's in China, but we get to look at her and say hello probably every second or third day. So I'm quite lucky. I've got 3 mothers just now. My mother, her twin, Auntie Catherine, and my mother-in-law. And you'll notice I'm not making any jokes about mother-in-laws. Okay, so that's the message over. Let's get into the important bits. Give me a few seconds just to open up. Okay, coming to Kathleen Hanlon. Kathleen Hanlon. Kathleen, I've got a man coming forward. He is... the word I'm going to use to describe this man is mysterious. I don't know why. I don't know if he likes mysteries or if you would describe him as mysterious, but it's more than a word. It's a feeling that he's putting about himself. He's something about his back. Towards the end, he was quite elderly. I don't think he was walking straight. Maybe not the back, but the shoulders are quite stooped. Let me just bring that comment down. He's sort of leaning forward like this. He's quite agile. He is on the wrong side of 65, 70. Late 60s, early 70s, but he looks and feels older than I think he is. Dark hair. So, Kathleen, does any of this make sense to you? Now, just to explain, people, if you're not a regular, we usually have to operate with a 10 to 20 second time delay. That's why I was recommending you go for video readings if you've got a Chrome or if you've got a Firefox browser. So Kathleen, does any of this description of this man make sense to you? Like I say, mysterious, stoop shoulders, late 60s, early 70s, dark hair, but very thin. I mean, my hair is going thinning. His hair is a lot thinner than that. So, Kathleen, can you recognize this man? You still with me, Kathleen?
Yes, she can take the pen.
Okay, I'm not seeing your message, Kathleen, but Ying is saying that she's seeing you and that you say, ah. Okay, so you can recognize who the man is. Now, isn't that interesting? Because before you said he died when you were 3 years old, he drew attention to the very first thing that I had said about the date, 21/2/21, and 2 + 1 = 3, and you've just told me that he died when you were 3 years old. Now, I'm not claiming credit for that, and that may just be coincidence, but spirit does work like that. Okay, now let's see why he's coming forward, Kathleen.
Got 40 seconds delay.
Right, now we're just being told by Jason that we've got a 40-second delay. So that's, again, people, with a 40-second delay, if you go for a video link, you get a much better reading and there is no time delay. Now, Ying's just put the video link up. So seriously, people, if you want a reading, really go for the video. It gives you a much better reading. Now, Kathleen, he's coming forward, something to do, actually, being drawn attention to the day. It's more than just the 21st of February. There's something going on today. So, Kathleen, can you understand something that's going on today? Sunday today on the 21st. Something that has happened today that concerns him. So, Kathleen, can you understand something? It may be emotional, it may be practical, but he's drawing attention, really drawing attention to today for some reason. Did you have a problem today? Were you expecting something today? Some sort of issue today? But seriously, Kathleen, can you understand something important happening today? Something concerning, something... I can't move beyond this. It's today that he's drawing attention to. So does that make sense to you, Kathleen? Something about today. Something you expected, something happened. Okay, Kathleen. So it's your feelings that we're talking about. Right, okay. Let's see what he's got to say about it. Kathleen, the way that he's describing himself, I mean, the word mysterious was obviously because you never knew him, because he died when you were 3. But he's basically saying that you've always been aware of him without realizing it. That he's always been with you, that you've always felt his presence, but you've never understood that it was him. Can you understand that? Like you're feeling like you are today, and then just suddenly out of nowhere, you get this feeling of comfort. I'm not going to say it's a reading or it's a message. It's just you suddenly go calm. It's almost as though you can put yourself, I'm not going to say meditation. Let's just say a daydream. Like you're feeling like you are today, and then you're able to pull yourself back, to take a deep breath, and you find yourself not sleeping, but drifting. I mean, I hope you're not doing that when you're driving, but can you understand that? You just suddenly get a very, very relaxing feeling. Yeah, well, when you get that feeling, that's him. He's basically taking your hand as though you were still a 3-year-old. I mean, obviously, you're not a 3-year-old anymore. At least I hope you're not a 3-year-old. If you are a 3-year-old, then I shouldn't be giving you a reading. But that aside, okay, so again, coming back to 3. But basically, Kathleen, can you understand very, very specifically when you're feeling stressed, you're suddenly getting a feeling of calmness? You may be aware that it's your grandfather, you may not be aware, but I'm telling you that if you're not aware of it, it is your grandfather coming forward to care for you. And he's been with you since you were 3. I mean, obviously, he had to readjust on the other side. He couldn't sort of suddenly just jump back, but as soon as he was able to, he's been with you and other relations as well, because spirit can be in more than one place at once. Also, whatever it is that you've been feeling stressed about, he wants you to know not to be worried. Whatever it is, he's drawing attention, in fact, to it's more than the wine, Kathleen. It's your grandfather, unless he was drinking as well. I get the feeling he was actually teetotal, actually. Maybe, I don't know, but maybe not teetotal, but I get the feeling he wasn't a heavy drinker. So that's what he's making me feel. You can maybe check that with somebody and get confirmation if you're not aware of it yourself. I'm not going to give you much more, Kathleen. It's basically just to let you know that he's with you. You don't need to be worried about whatever it is that was stressing you out. You'll be able to deal with it. I'm not saying that spirit... so he was an alcoholic. Right, that's my fault. I've misinterpreted it. That maybe makes sense, actually, because obviously an alcoholic wouldn't want to drink the alcohol. I was taking that as teetotal, but what I got was the feeling that he, although he's maybe drawn to the alcohol, he didn't want to drive it. So, apologies, I've misinterpreted it. It wasn't that he was teetotal, it was that he just had to stop himself, as all alcoholics have to do. You're welcome, Kathleen. Just take his love. He's very supportive. Whatever it is you're worrying about, don't worry about it. I'm not saying nothing bad's going to happen. I mean, I don't predict the future, but he's with you. Okay, so I'm coming to Jean Spears now. Jean Spears. Jean, I've got another man coming forward. Younger than the last spirit. I would say this man, when he passed, was somewhere between mid-40s to mid-50s. I get the feeling he was... I'm 55, and I get the feeling that he was younger than me. So can you... A man, possibly slightly balding. I'm not saying he's completely bald, but sort of around here at the top of the head, he was going bald. I don't know how long this man's been in spirit, but I don't think it's a huge period of time. He is drawing attention to his face. Something about shaving. I'm not saying he didn't shave, and I'm not saying he looked unshaven, but I think he used to cut himself or nick himself in the face, because I'm seeing, I'm not saying it's scars, but cuts. Right, Jean, you can take the man. Now let's see why he's coming forward. Jean, have you been out skating recently on roller skates? Or do you feel as though you're on roller skates? I mean, quite literally, have you been... I'm seeing an image of you in my head on a pair of roller skates going down a hill. I mean, quite literally flying down, like your arms are Your arms are out like this, and you're flying down the hill at high speed, and there's a brick wall up ahead of you, right? So you're not on. I think this is symbolic. Then, can you understand yourself, Jean, going towards something at high speed, not physically, but some sort of situation up ahead of you that you are going towards? I mean, quite literally, what I've got is a cartoon image of you on a pair of roller skates going down a steep hill, as though you're traveling at high speed and not able to slow down. Can you understand that symbolically, Jean? Now, we've got a 40-second delay, so sorry if I seem to be repeating myself. We've got 2 people coming forward for video messages. Just to stress again, while I'm waiting to get some feedback from Jean, we don't have the time delay when we do video readings, and I can get a much stronger message through to you. So, Jean, can you understand a situation, like I say, where you're flying towards it at high speed, almost as though you feel as though you're heading towards a brick wall that you're going to crash into? And again, people, when you give me feedback, try to give me feedback about what you're giving me feedback to. So, Jean, right, so you're always in a rush. Okay, Jean, but again, this is something very specific. It's something that you're flying towards at high speed and you can't stop yourself. I literally see you symbolically on silver roller skates, no snow, no ice, going down a steep hill at high speed, no brakes, and there's a brick wall waiting for you at the foot of that hill. Does that? Right, so you understand the situation. Okay, so let's see what this man's got to say about it. Now, again, people, Jean's just given me a yes. Always try to give more than just a yes or a no, because with time delays, I might have moved on to another bit of evidence, and then I'm sitting here saying, was that yes to the situation, or was that yes to the bit that I'm now giving you? So, Jean, the man is basically telling you, however you do this, put the brakes on. To this situation, basically, excuse me for 1 second. We have another hacker, John Scott. Please take yourself away, or I am going to seriously go to Facebook and make a complaint about you the minute this broadcast ends. And when I say I'm going to come after you, you have no idea what I'm going to do when I get off Facebook. I don't just take this lying down. I don't just block you. I will hunt you down in Facebook, and I will haunt you for several weeks. So be warned. Sorry about that, Jean. Basically, the message for you is to put the brakes on, to slow down, seriously slow down, and do a U-turn. Don't know what your situation is. Don't know how you have to handle it, Jean, but this man seriously wants you in some way to slow down and put the brakes on. I'm going to leave you with that, Jean. Now, coming to Murray Henry. So, hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So, Murray, let's see who we've got. I've got a woman coming forward. Quite elderly. I would say she's at least in her late 70s, early 80s, maybe older when she passed. Very small. Very thin. I don't think she had any problems walking, but again, I get the feeling that towards the end, she was sort of like bent over slightly, if that makes sense.
No, I don't know who that could be.
Right. She's on your mother's side of the family, and she's going back at least 2 generations.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she's a grandmother. So don't think mother, grandmother.
Right.
Could you take her as your great aunt on your mother's side?
I didn't know any of my mum, my grands or that. There was none.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's see what she'll give me then, so that you can maybe go and get confirmation after we're finished.
Right.
She likes the color green.
Okay.
She's showing me what I can only describe. You know, if you go back maybe 20 or 30 years, ashtrays used to come as like small pots, about
Right.
the size of a tea plate, and they would have a sort of side built up around them like that, circular.
Right.
And you have wee bits cut in the side to put the cigarette in.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She's showing me one like that that's green.
Right.
Now, I don't know if that's something that she's maybe given to somebody, or maybe somebody's got a
My mum
memory.
was an orphan, so we don't know any of her family.
Right, okay, so you don't actually know any of them.
No, nobody knows anything about any of them.
Right, I think that's why she's coming forward then.
Right.
Again, maybe the ashtray then must mean something else if it's not evidence.
Right.
Can you think of any memories or anybody that, or yourself, can you identify anywhere where you've got that green ashtray?
No, but I used to, about 30 years ago, work in a pub and with green glass ashtrays with bits on the side.
Yeah, okay, right. So
Right.
So there you are. So think back. Do you have contact with a man that you used to either work in the pub with or know from the pub?
A few, I know, still
Right.
see
Well,
a
let me get a
few.
physical description of him. Quite rounded face. You know the character, you ever watch a comedy program on the BBC going back a few years? It was set in France, and it was British characters that were putting on French false accents. Rennie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. He looks like Rennie.
Right.
So same build, same sort of shape of face,
Yeah.
same sort of dark hair, short hair.
Not offhand, no.
Well,
yeah.
when we're finished, like certainly this sometimes happens. You know, especially when you're going back 30 years. Oh
Yeah.
God, that's happened to me multiple times. I've given evidence like that, and then the person says no,
yeah.
and then 2 days later they phone me up and say, "Oh God, it was my brother, it was my uncle." Right. So,
yes.
not saying it's anybody like that, but just keep that description of that man.
Yeah.
Now let's see why we're taking you back to that man in that pub. Do you still work in pubs?
No.
Have you been thinking something to do with pub? I mean, obviously now not with lockdown, but has there been something discussion about pubs or talking about pubs?
No.
Or going back to that pub that you worked in?
No.
Right. That's what I'm being drawn to.
I live near it.
Okay, right, okay. So you live near it, okay. Maybe at some point when it's safe to, just go and take a walk past the pub, or go. Is the pub still there?
Yes.
Right. Go to the pub. Just go into it at some point when we can. I mean, obviously, just now that heaven only knows when that's going to happen. But when you can, just go back to the pub. I don't know what it is. There's something about that pub and something about that man. I was thinking it was a man from your memory. Maybe it's a man in the pub now.
Right.
Just watch out for a man like that.
Okay.
Not saying he's going to be romantic. I'm not saying anything romantic or anything like that, but there's something about that man or the memory of that man and that pub that when you go to the pub, it's all going to make sense to you.
Okay.
And your great aunt, I've got a question for you. Have you ever made any attempts to try and trace your family history on your great aunt's side?
No.
She wants you to try and do it.
All right.
I think you've got relations that you don't know about.
I would think so, because we don't have really any relations that we know of. Yeah.
You've got people alive that would be delighted to meet you.
Okay.
Like to them, you're the lost relation as well.
Right.
There's a website I'm being shown, you know the website ancestry.com?
Yes,
Now, I don't know anything about it, never looked at it, wouldn't have a clue how to use it.
No.
But I'm being put three things in my head. Ancestry.com, a church that's got records, you know, like a sort of like a log of just events in the church, christenings, births, more like a diary of the minister.
Right.
But it's more than, I mean, it's not a diary, it's just like a log of what the minister, every minister in the church has been doing. It's like a historical handwritten record they've got.
Okay.
Don't know what the church is, but find that church, and there's written records in there that you're going to be able to use as well.
All right.
And do you have any connections to central Scotland? That would be the sort of like the Stirling, Falkirk, Loch Lomond area.
I'm in Dunfermline. I don't really have any. We don't really go far. No
Right.
connections.
Well, that's the area that I'm being shown on a map.
Okay.
So maybe the church is in that area.
Right.
Maybe that's where your family is. Maybe that's where you have to look. I don't know. But those are the three things that are being put in my head.
Okay.
But the message is very, very clearly, go to the pub. For some reason, it'll make sense when you do.
Right.
And also try and just make some effort to try and trace your family. And those are the three clues to help you do it.
Okay.
Leave you with that.
Okay then. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, coming to Virginia.
Hi.
Hi there. Can you move your camera down a wee bit so I can see your head? That's great. Thank you. Right. I've got a man coming forward. He's age-wise, I'm finding it difficult to place him, but he's certainly in his late 60s, early 70s, if not older. Don't think he's much older than that. So sort of like maybe 67, 68 up to maybe 75, 76 when he's past that sort of age range. Grey hair, very completely grey hair. Glasses, maybe reading glasses, but he's definitely been wearing glasses. He's passed some time ago. Within living memory, excuse me for 1 second, Ilfie Gaham, again, stop messaging people or you are going to, there we go, excuse me. There we go, blocked. Right, sorry for that distraction. So as I was saying, he's in that sort of age range, grey hair. The glasses are quite round, sort of rounded glasses. Maybe reading glasses. I don't think he was wearing them constantly, but he is drawing attention to the glasses. Any of this make sense to you?
No.
Okay. He's drawing attention to your father's side of the family. He's not your father or grandfather. He's not a sort of direct relation. I think we're going back one generation, so your father's level. I'm getting a letter T. Now that could be a name like Tommy, Thomas, or T. I don't know. It's not a name he's giving me. It's the letter T.
I can't think of anything. Anybody.
Let's see what else he'll give me. Oh. Are you from that accent? Are you in Britain or America?
I'm in Canada.
You're in Canada, right? Sorry, Canada. Do you have a roundabout near you, or a roundabout where you lived as a child? Because he's showing me a roundabout.
No.
Or a roundabout where your father's family comes from. A big roundabout. You know, not a mini roundabout that you would just drive over.
I grew up by a lake.
Right. So, not you. This would be your father or your father's family, like a brother or a cousin. So we're going back to when you were a child, but it's not you or your father. It's when your father would be younger.
Oh,
It's
no, I can't think of anybody.
right.
My
It's a
dad
very,
lived on an island when he was younger.
right. Did the island have a road system?
No.
Right. Okay. So it must have been when he was older then. It's definitely a roundabout that he's showing me, and it's not a freeway roundabout. It's quite an old roundabout.
Okay, well, a roundabout is like a round road.
Yeah, it's basically a circular road that cars drive round to change. Like they're coming this way, and they're going that way. So there's not traffic lights. They would drive round it. We have them in Britain everywhere.
Yeah, no, we
I know
don't
you do
really
have them in
have any
Canada.
of those.
I've driven in Canada and I've seen them.
Yeah, not here though. This is a small town.
Right. Well, you're going to have to find this roundabout connected to your father, because that's what this man is showing me to identify him.
Okay.
Is your father still alive?
No.
Right. Is there anybody from your father's family at that sort of level that's still alive when he was younger?
With white hair? No.
No.
I don't know.
No, this is not the person that's coming forward. Just, is there anybody alive that would know your father when he was in, let's say, his 20s, maybe up to his 30s?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many people that have passed. I don't know.
Well,
I can't.
there's somebody alive that
alive.
has memories of this man, that can identify this man for you. It's a woman, grey hair.
Gray-haired woman.
Yeah, quite elderly. I mean, she's dating back. She must same age range as your father, same age range as this man. Yeah, and something about her hands. My hands are going numb. Right, I'm going to move on and just leave you with that to try and find the woman. The woman can identify the man for you from the roundabout.
Okay.
So just talk to her about a roundabout. She'll know it straight away who it is and what it's about. Now, the reason he's coming forward. Have you been having headaches recently?
A little bit, yeah.
And have you been having them first thing in the morning?
No, just different times of the day. Sometimes in the morning, yeah.
Yeah, but you can understand having a headache in the morning when you're waking up.
Yeah.
Right. Are you a member of a spiritualist church?
No, but that's what I believe in.
Yeah. Do you have a spiritualist church near you?
No.
Right. Okay. What this man is drawing attention to is that he thinks you've got the ability to receive messages like the way I'm working tonight. And
I've been told that.
what you're doing is you're in a state of being open. You need to learn how to close, because what's happening is spirit are trying to communicate with you, and it's like using energy. And if you don't know how to close, you get very tired, which is giving you the headaches. Now, what you have to do is basically just learn to close. It's very simple. You just basically close your eyes. Picture a door. Just close the door. The door is open. Just close the door, turn around, and walk away from the door. And it doesn't have to be like that. Just go through a mental exercise like that. It's just imagery in your head so that you tell spirit that you're closed. If you have a headache, just do that immediately. It won't cure the headache, because the headache's been caused because they've been trying to communicate with you. But just maybe before you go to bed at night, or if there's a regular time when you have a headache, just do that, and it'll help you.
Oh, okay.
And
so what
like
if
I say, try and find your local church and see if you can join a circle.
Okay.
Can I leave you with that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Like I say, find that woman with the numb hands and shoot the roundabout. She'll identify who that man is.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Right, now, coming to Jason. So, coming to Jason. Jason, I've got a woman coming forward who is in her, quite elderly actually. I'd say about 75 or 76, maybe slightly older than that. She had a heart attack before she passed. I've got my hand drawn to my chest. If it's not a heart attack, it's definitely something in the chest. So this woman she's actually quite sprightly, very energetic. I get the feeling that when she passed, it wasn't expected. It was quite sudden. Just like that. I mean, it may not be a heart attack, but it feels like a heart attack. Her hair was quite lengthy, and I think she wore it up. I think she put it into sort of, like put her hair up like this. Something about the funeral was unusual or memorable. She either left detailed instructions that weren't followed, or they were followed and everybody was surprised at the way she wanted to do it, or something happened at the funeral that was completely surprising. Okay, so you can take the woman. Okay, now let's see why she's coming forward. Jason, can you identify something with your legs at the moment? Now, I don't think it's an issue, but have you been sitting crossing your legs too much, or have you been out running too much or out walking? And also, your left eye. Suddenly got a very itchy eye. Can't keep my hand away from it. So, legs and eye. Can you understand some connection between them? Right, so you've got pains in your legs. Okay. Can you understand the itchy eye as well? Like I say, I just want to go up to my eye like that. Actually, it's not my eye. It's the side of my eye. It's literally here. Right. Okay. So you can take it all then. And yeah, it might look like my right, but it's my left hand. It's my left eye. Right. Let's see why she's drawing attention to this. Jason, have you been taking eye drops for the eye? Literally, have you been taking eye drops? She's drawing attention to the eye drops. Something about the eye drops. Now, you know that I don't diagnose, so don't stop taking the eye drops or start taking them. But there's something about the eye drops that she's drawing attention to. Can you understand that? Have you been diagnosed, told to take eye drops, or have you not? Are you not taking the eye? Have you got eye drops that you're not taking? Right. Okay. Maybe think about taking the eye drops again. I don't know. Like I say, I'm not diagnosing. I'm not telling you to take them. You know that I don't do that. I always, if I get something like this, I always ask you if you can recognize what it is. But something about the eye drops. Right, maybe the glasses then, but I'm still being drawn to the eye drops, Jason. just, like I say, I don't know if you were given a prescription or if it's something you went to the chemist about, but maybe go to the chemist or maybe phone the doctor and just ask about them. She's not saying anything about your glasses, but I'm saying obviously go back to the optician that sold them to you. And Tuesday, she's now, it might sound good, Jason, but remember, I'm not diagnosing. Speak to whoever it is that you have to speak to before you start taking them. She's drawing attention to Tuesday. Now, I know you asked about Tuesday, and as a general rule, I don't answer specific questions, but she is drawing attention to Tuesday. She's basically saying, you know the old saying, if the captain is going to find a way to sink the ship will sink. She's basically describing you like that. So basically, think positively. So change your thought process. Think positively about Tuesday. She knows that, Jason. But you know the question, why are you missing her? Because she's always with you. She's actually laughing at that, Jason. She says, you know that she's with you, so why do you have to say that? You don't miss her, she's with you. And Jason, have you forgotten something about this woman? Something very specific. You know how I was talking at the beginning about forgetting my mother's birthday? Is there an anniversary that you've forgotten about? A birthday? Maybe not a wedding, maybe not something like a wedding anniversary or a funeral anniversary, but is there a date that recently or just coming up that you'd forgotten about? Something that was important to you and this woman, between the two of you. Can you understand that, Jason? Something that maybe an event, maybe not a day, but something you've forgotten about. So, can you understand that? So, Jason, can you understand a day or something about the woman that you've forgotten about? Not saying it's the wedding anniversary, something on that scale, but something that was important to the two of you. Right, okay. Well, think about it. There's definitely something you've forgot. There's definitely something that you've forgotten about. Don't know what it is. Something about that you and this woman, a date or an anniversary or something that you've forgotten about that you should remember. It's a good memory. It's a good thought, and she's wondering why you've forgotten about it. So I'm going to leave you with that, Jason. Okay, coming now to Maria. Maria, can you undo your unmute your microphone? Maria, you've got your microphone muted. Hello, that's
right. Hello.
That's
Right.
Hi there.
Right, yeah.
Hello.
Maria,
Can you forward?
Unmute your microphone.
You might need to switch off the Facebook because I think you've got the echo of the two.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I can also hear Facebook. You need to kill the volume on the other on the Facebook.
You
might need to switch off Facebook. Yeah, I can hear you and I can hear Facebook, and everybody else can hear Facebook as well. So you need to kill that.
Right, have I done it?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Well
Right.
done.
I was wondering why it was echoing.
Because you've got two sound sources on at the same time. Right. Okay. So let's see who we've got coming forward. I've actually got 3 people coming forward.
All right.
I think 2 of them is 2 women and a man.
Yes.
I think the man is married to one of the women, and the second woman is a sister.
Yeah.
You can understand who these people are?
Yeah, I can. It was me auntie. She's just passed.
Right. So you're saying that one of them's just passed?
Me auntie's just passed, and then my uncle's just passed.
Right. So the
And
two
my
of them are
father
just passed.
passed. Yeah.
Right. So the third woman is basically, she's coming forward to bring them forward because it's too early for the two of them to come forward by themselves yet.
Right.
So she's here to help them come forward. Question. I'm getting a feeling of confusion from them. Is there estate? Is there some sort of confusion or something that's still not wrapped up about it?
Yes, was me auntie. Yes.
Right. Don't give me any information. Just give me a yes or a no.
Yes.
Is there a dispute about it between you and somebody else?
Yes.
Is it a case of you're in the will and the other person is a relation and the other person is objecting to you being in the will?
Yes.
Right. Your auntie says that somewhere she's left a diary. It's maybe not a diary, it's a notebook of some description.
Right.
And there's something written in this notebook or diary that you can give to the other person. It's like I'm not saying it's a message, but she's sort of like written down her thought process, why she put you in the will. And the other person will be able to accept this and quieten down, if that makes sense.
Right. I'll check for that.
She says it might be quite difficult to find because she wrote it some time ago.
Right.
I don't know if this is a notebook or I don't know. I'm just going to call it a notebook. It might be a diary. I don't know. I'm just going to call it a notebook. But the color or the smell of lavender, you know, it might be these sort of, you know how you can buy sort of feminine notebooks, you know, lacy. It's either that or it's where it's stored. I don't know which, but look for the smell or the feel or the color of lavender.
Right.
That'll show you where the notebook is. It might even be a placeholder in the notebook to show you where. But when you start looking for it, that's going to make sense.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
Anyway, if you can find this written note, and if you can copy it and or show it to this other person, that's going to calm them down.
Right.
And also advice for you. She says, it doesn't matter how nasty the other person is. Remember that they feel the loss. So you have to build that into, like, if you don't react to what if they say anything or if they do anything, don't react to it.
Right. I'll keep that in mind.
So yeah, basically this person could get quite aggressive because they're really feeling upset. I can feel your auntie is letting me know that.
Yeah.
But very, very much she doesn't want it to turn into a family feud. She doesn't want you to lose contact. I mean, I don't know if this person's close to you or if it's somebody that's distant, but she doesn't want it to blow up out of, you know, she doesn't want it to blow up, if that makes sense. But she's also firm she doesn't want you to back down from what she's left for you because there were reasons why she left it for you. You know what the reasons are. And she's I don't know what it was. It's something that she feels very grateful to you about. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
She just wants you to know that she is grateful. And that was her way of letting you know how grateful she was.
Right.
Do you sometimes wear a hat?
No.
Is there somebody close to you that wears hats?
Yeah, my son.
Right. Is he a teenager?
No, he's
Or would he
30.
look like a teenager?
I would, I does,
You know,
I.
I'm just getting a picture of him, and he looks, you know, he looks to me as though he's like 17, 18, 19. So like, is he in his early 20s, and he or that sort of age range, he could pass himself off as like a 19-year-old, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you can, I.
Right. There's something going on with him just now. Is he at university?
No,
Or is he doing some sort of studying?
no, he's not doing any studying.
Or should he be doing some sort of studying?
No.
What I'm being shown is a book that to me looks and feels like a textbook. Might be a manual. Ask him. Just ask him what a tech. You know, it's an old. You wouldn't get these you wouldn't get these nowadays, because nowadays, if it's something like a manual textbook, you'd get a PDF file. So just ask him. It may just be a symbolic textbook, but just ask him if there's a textbook or a manual that he should be reading. It's as though he's got a problem, and the problem, the solution to the problem is in the book. I've been in computer support before, and we've got an expression, and I'm not saying it's computers, but this is just what it feels like. Read the effing, I won't swear because it's a service, but read the effing manual.
Yeah.
That's the sort of feeling she's putting into my head, that your son, you know, it's almost as though he doesn't need to whatever it is we're talking about. And I get the feeling it's software, actually. I don't need to read the manual. I know all about it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Basically saying, whatever this problem is, go read the instructions, and it's going to be blatantly obvious in the small print if he just takes the time to go through it.
Yeah.
Can I leave you with all of that? And she sends her love, and as I say, very grateful to you.
Right. Thank you very much, Mark.
You're very welcome. Nice to talk to you.
And you. And you.
Bye-bye.
Night.
Bye-bye. Right, coming to Donna Finney. Donna. Hiya, Donna. Right, Donna, I've got a man coming forward that is drawing attention to his forehead. I'm not sure if this is how he died or if there was something wrong with his head during life. Let's just get that out of the way so you can see me. Something very, very much, maybe he's bumped his head, maybe a crash, maybe an operation in the head, but the forehead, very specifically, this is what he's drawing attention to. This is how you identify this man. It's the head. He's difficult to get the age because I can't actually see the face. It's the forehead he keeps drawing attention to. It's literally blocking me from getting anything else. Right, you're not sure. I'm seeing him wearing a green hat of some description. So, or color green. So you can identify this man either with a green hat or the color green. It's like a sort of dark green, you know, the sort of dark green countryside clothes that men wear. You know, coats, hats. I'm not even sure what the material is. It's got a very specific name. You know, it's waterproof. Barbary. That's the name I'm looking for. He's wearing like a Barbary coat or a Barbary hat. He smokes as well. Quite expensive cigarettes. And I see him in a garden. I'm not saying he's a gardener. I'm not saying he's a professional gardener. Maybe it's the countryside. But he's definitely into the countryside in some way. Any of this help you identify the man, Donna? Not sure about his age, like I say, but my age or older. not a youngster, but he's not an oldster. You know, we're not talking about somebody in their 90s. So sort of 50s, early 60s. And like I say, he's drawing attention to the head again. Maybe somebody that's died in an accident. Right, okay, Donna. I'll come back to you. I'm going to open this up because I'm getting too much information from this man. So this is an open message, people. So we're looking for a man. Like I say, something about the forehead that could be that he's been in a crash and he's hit his head. Could be that he's got a painful head. But definitely something about his head. Age-wise, sort of mid-50s upwards to mid-60s. Get the feeling he's round about 60, more 60 than 65. And Barbary, colour green, and he smokes. And countryside or garden. Not saying he's in a field or anything, but he's definitely he's outside and he's got greenery around him. So can anybody recognise this man? I'll wait for a few seconds and see if anybody can recognise this man. So can anybody take this man? So can anyone recognise this man?
Jason.
Right, Jason. So your dad, it's okay. Yeah, Jason, it's always your dad that comes forward, isn't it? Right, now technically I shouldn't come back to you because you've already had a message, but he's coming forward very specifically. You
blocked Jill. Jill got her dad as well.
Sorry, 1 second, people. Sorry, what are you saying, darling?
And you blocked Jill, but Jill can watch you, and she said it's her dad. Her dad had a brain problems.
Right. Okay, Jason. We've got Jill saying that it's her dad as well. I think I've blocked her by mistake. No, it's definitely yourself, Jason. Again, he's talking about Tuesday. Jason, can you understand something about Tuesday and the countryside again? Or long grass? I don't know what I don't know what it is, but he's showing me maybe going into the countryside. Can you understand bales of grass or long grass? So Jason, again, specifically Tuesday, maybe it's to go and relax. Maybe it's your dad just telling you to go for a long country walk again. Right, so you understand the message then, Jason? Okay, I'll leave you with that then, Jason. Now, I'm just going to take a short 2-second break, people. As you can see, I have been flashing different websites along the bottom. So I just want to take you and show you what those 3 websites are just for a few seconds. One that I haven't shown you yet is the group. I'll put this one up next. This is the Facebook group that I was talking about earlier. It's called Spiritual Mediumship. It's basically a group about Scottish spiritualism. What we're doing here tonight, I am actually broadcasting this into the group as we speak. Started it up 2.5 weeks ago. It's now got about 500 members. At least I had 500 before we started. It may be over by now. Good sense of Scottish humour. You'll find lots of Scotch Rye being posted in there. Lots of information about churches, church services. Just trying to turn it into a resource. This is my webpage, marcstewartmedium.com. Now, it's quite a hefty webpage, and I'm showing it deliberately because I've got a simpler one coming up next. You want to see old services, if you want training, circles, there's a big menu system, work your way around it to find what you're looking for. If you're just looking for a reading, go to mediumreadings.online. Same menu system, so you can get into the website from here as well. But it's a direct, very simple readings, how long they last, what I charged for them. Basically, if you want a quick reading, just go there. Now, let me just get back to where we started. Okay, so coming to Charmaine Leach. Charmaine Leach. Charmaine? So, Charmaine, I've got a man coming forward, very elderly or very weak. What I'm seeing is I think he's in a care home. So before he passed, Charmaine, can you take a man, don't know the exact age, but certainly very, very, still mobile. I mean, he's not bedridden, but I think he was in a care home. And I get the feeling he was confused. Sorry, I get the feeling he was confused. And he's also drawing attention to his throat. Don't know if you can see that, but I'm suddenly finding it difficult to speak. Maybe breathing, maybe right, so you understand who we're talking about then, Charmaine? Okay. Reason he's coming forward, something to do with a car. Now, it may not necessarily be your car, but can you understand a silver car? So, Charmaine, can you understand a silver car? So, Charmaine, can you understand somebody or something to do with a silver car? So, Charmaine, can you understand something? Right, maybe a Toyota. Can you understand somebody driving a Toyota car then? Because it was a silver Auris Toyota, which is my car. So can you understand somebody driving a Toyota? It's a very specific car to show me. It's too specific, so it must be something about my car that relates to your car. So if it's not silver, can you understand a Toyota? So can you understand a Toyota car? Charmaine. So, Charmaine, can you understand a silver? Okay, not silver. Can you understand a Toyota car? If it's not a car, it's basically it's a 5-door car. Electric. It's not electric. It's a hybrid car. So I'm describing my car to see if you can understand any of the characteristics.
Neighbor.
Ah, right. So it's your neighbor's car. Right. Okay. So we're being drawn to your neighbor then. Why? Charmaine, does your neighbor leave the house under normal circumstances very early in the morning? Now, I know we're under lockdown just now, but I'm seeing the car being driven away from the house very early in the morning. Does your neighbor waking you up, driving away early in the morning or middle of the night? Maybe it's coming home middle of the night, but get the feeling he's either working on a night shift or he's leaving very early. But I mean, we're talking ridiculously early. You know, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, not talking 7, 8 o'clock. Does this make sense to you? Right. Okay. Didn't say I was waking you up. I just said leaving early in the morning. I want you to speak to your neighbor. I don't know why, but it's him leaving early in the morning in the car. Now, I do not predict the future. This is not a prediction of the future, but there's something going on when he's driving the car early in the morning. And it's him. It's not about you. It's not about you being woken up, etc. It's either something that he's doing or something that he's not noticing, or something that it's maybe I get that I see him coming out of the driveway and not paying proper attention. It's like he's leaving so early that he's just getting in the car, starting the engine and zooming out, or he's done it, or he can do it. Just speak to him, or just stay up. Maybe just do a wee bit of neighbourly spying. Just stay up one night or get up early and just watch out the window and just see what he's doing. Because there's something, like I say, it's very specific. The car was just too specific. And again, early morning. Something, if it's not something he's doing, if it's not him, there's something going on when he's leaving in the morning. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to leave you with that, Charmaine, to make sense of it. So basically, just like I say, stay up tonight or whichever night he leaves early in the morning. Maybe take a day off work or whatever it is that you do. Pay attention to it. It's going to make sense. Once you see him, what he's doing or what he's not doing, then go speak to him. Can't get much more than that, but I'll leave you with that, Kirsty. Right, now coming to Connie. So Connie, I'm just coming to you now. Excuse me for 1 second, Connie. Hello, Connie. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, and you?
Yes, that's great. Okay, Connie. So I've got a man coming forward, similar age to yourself. When he passed, very dark hair, dark curly hair actually. If not curly, wavy. It's very difficult. I always find it difficult describing men's hair that isn't sort of short and straight. You know, if I describe it as curly, then people will walk away thinking that the hair's like a woman's curly hair. And if I describe it as wavy, it's sort of people go away thinking it's down to here. It's quite short hair. You could describe it either as curly or wavy, but it's the hair that's been drawn attention to this man to identify him. Does that make sense to you?
I think so.
And he wore glasses.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's my brother. I grew up with him.
Right. Okay. Like I say, very similar age to yourself. The reason he's coming forward. Excuse me for 1 second. We're being attacked again. Okay. Now the reason he's coming forward. Can you understand something to do with a plant in a flower pot, and it's a single plant with a single flower? Does that mean something symbolically to you?
We used to have a lot of plants, and yeah, we had a pot like that.
Yeah, it's a flower. It's being kept indoor, or it's in a greenhouse. But
Yes.
it's a single. It's like a single stem and a single flower. I mean, the flower looks out. It may just be he's drawing attention to it, but the flower looks out of proportion to the size of the stem, if that makes sense. It's like the kind of thing a child would look at. You know, they're just concentrating on this big, huge flower, on this tiny, and I'm not saying it was a tiny stem. I'm just saying that's what your brother's drawing attention to it. Does this plant mean something to you that you would understand about your brother?
Not really.
Right. Something about, can you understand a crack in the flower pot at some point? Like you had to replant it from one flower pot to another.
Yeah.
Did something happen when that happened, or did something happen to cause the crack? That's significant.
I think he fell or he kicked it. Either
Ah,
or.
so he kicked it. Right, okay. He's nodding at that. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Have you acted similarly recently? You know, you've
If
lost
I
your
wa-
temper and you've kicked something. Maybe not literal, maybe symbolic.
I lost a tooth.
But did it cause you to lose your temper?
Not,
It's something that, like when your brother kicked out at the plant and broke the pot. Has something happened recently to you that's made you emotionally or physically just kick out at something?
yes.
Right. Think about that. That's what your brother wants to talk about. That was kind of convoluted to get us to that, but we got there. Did a person cause you to kick out like that?
Yes.
Right. Is it a man?
Yes.
Are you still quite angry with this man?
Sometimes I feel yes. Definitely yes.
Your brother wants you to forgive the man.
Okay.
Is it somebody close to you that you shouldn't let these emotions get in the way? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, he's my ex. He crushed my car.
Right. I can
Yeah.
understand why you're... Did he do it deliberately?
Yes.
Right. Did you do something to provoke him to crush the car?
No, I was taking him to work and he said that he didn't see a couch in the middle of the highway, but I know he did see it.
Right. So it was accidental then?
No, because he saw the couch and he could have been able to avoid it, but he just went straight on.
Your brother, I'm not saying your brother's siding with your ex, but he's saying there's more. Don't make the assumption that he did it deliberately.
Okay.
He's basically wants you to calm down and step back. He's not trying to get the two of you together, but he's just trying to stop you from being angry. I mean, let's put it this way. The car is insured, isn't it?
No.
Okay, so he's asking why not. Is your ex going to pay for it?
He said he will, but I don't think he can financially talking about it.
Right. Your brother's saying he will.
Okay.
He's basically saying, cheer up. You know, don't be so negative about it.
Okay.
I don't know if it's that your ex is going to pay for it or that you're going to get a windfall from something, but he says you're going to get a better car out of it.
Okay.
Now I don't predict the future, so this must be something that's already in motion, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, can I leave you with that?
Yes, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you, and I always watch I always try to connect, and I'm very grateful for your unselfishness to share this with us.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a nice night.
You too.
And like I say, your brother sends his love.
Oh, I send him my love too. Thank you so much.
He knows. Don't worry. Okay. Good night.
Night.
Okay, people. I think that's us about ready to close up. If everybody would please like to join me in a closing prayer. So just give me 2 seconds. So you've all please to join me, clasp hands, close eyes. Dear Father, Mother, Spirit, thank you very much for coming forward. Thank you very much for opening the door to the other side. Thank you very much for allowing us to connect, for the spirits that came forward. Please take the energy that we've generated tonight, and I'm going to ask that you find somebody specifically in Texas that's still got the lights off, still not got any power, and just please do some good with that healing energy or whatever can be done. Maybe synchronistically get somebody in the repair company to do something to help. Thank you. Amen. So just basically to say, we will be back, Ying and myself, 8:30 next Tuesday. Please, if you're not a member, next Sunday, my mistake, not Tuesday, next Sunday, I will be appearing in a church service on Thursday. If you go to that group, so that's basically Scottish Spiritual Mediumship, or if you just search for Spiritual Mediumship, you can get details of that church service. I am appearing during Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon at that event. If you want to go to www.justspiritualinterview.com, you can get tickets for that event there. We didn't do the opening closing music, but if you're not used to it, I do like my Scottish music, and we are transmitting from Scotland, so we'll be closed at the end of this music, but there are information and links in the music. Good night.